All right, it's the end of week 10. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? It's the end of week 10, yeah. All right, well, so we're in section 5.3. We're talking about how to write a linear equation in point-slope form. Point-slope form is the easiest of all the forms to write equations, and somehow people seem to forget about it for some reason. I'm not quite sure what that is. So it's actually quite useful. So point-slope form, let's talk about exactly what it is, all right? Here's what it is. Here's what we know. Point-slope form says that y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. That's it. That's what it looks like. Not a big deal. So, what does the y sub 1 part, what does that part tell you? Does anybody know? Yeah, what do you think?
The y is the first given coordinate.
You got it. That's the y coordinate. What is the x sub 1? That's the x coordinate. You got it. And then what is the m? Yep, that stays the same. That's the slope. Hey, that's it. That's it. That is called point-slope form. Who's seen that before? Raise your hands. Let the record show. Huh, only about half people in the room have seen this before. Okay, only about half the room. That's equal to 2. All right, we're gonna write an equation in slope-intercept form. Given a point 3, 2 and m is equal to 2. All right, so we're going to start off by writing down the basic for slope-intercept form. It says y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. That's what we start with. That's point-slope form. Then we're going to go back and recognize that the 3 represents the x part in the coordinate, and the y represents the 2 part, or the 2 represents the y part. And the slope is equal to 2, so we're just going to plug her straight in. So we're going to say y minus, what's the y coordinate? 2. You got it. Equals, what's the slope? 2 times x minus 3. Hey, that's it. Done. That is point-slope form. She looks at me and goes, no way, that can't be it. That's it. Y minus 2 equals 2 times x minus 3. This is called point-slope form. See how easy it is? Box number 3. Yeah, you got it. All right, let's see here. Let's make it a little bit more challenging for you, though. How about this? I'm going to ask you to graph. I'm going to ask you to graph this equation. I'm going to say, I'm going to give you y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x plus 3. All right. Y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x plus 3. Can you identify what the actual point is that we're going to use here? The x part, the x1, and the y1? What's the x1? Is it positive 3 or negative 3? Okay, look back up here. Look back up here. It says here there's a minus sign right here, right? There's a minus sign right up in here. So if there's a minus sign there, then we have to change the sign here. So the x-coordinate would be negative 3. Okay? And then look over here. There's a minus sign out here, and there's already a minus sign out here. So what is the y-coordinate? Positive 4. You got it. And what's the slope of this thing? And the slope is equal to 1/2. Good. So go ahead, take your ruler, and draw in a coordinate plane. There's mine. And we're going to graph y minus 4 equals 1/2 times x plus 3. We know that the point negative 3, 4 is on the graph. So this point has to be on the graph. And we know that the slope is 1/2. So how do we interpret the slope from this point? What do I do with the 1/2? If I know this point is on the curve, this is on the line, negative 3, 4. I know that's on there. How do I interpret the slope? What do I use it for? Do I go up 5 and over 9? No. Do I go up 13 and over 2? I go up 1 over 2. Up 1 and over 2. You got it. Once you have that information, you can then go ahead and take your ruler and draw your line. So it would look like that. Okay, so the directions for this last part here is going to say write the equation from this graph in PS form. PS stands for point slope form. So we're going to write the equation in point slope form, which is going to look something like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. This is point slope form. That's PS form, just in case you forgot already. So let's put a graph on the page here, and we'll say here it is. All right, we'll move it around, and let me give you the point. And the 2 points that I have in question are I have 4, 2 is on the graph. So here's a point, and this is the point 4, 2. And then the other point I have on the graph is -2, -3. -2, -3. So there's the point -2, -3. Once you have those 2 points on there, go ahead and connect them. And those are the 2 points that I've given you. And from those 2 points, I want you to write an equation that is in point slope form. So I want it to look something like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, which point are you going to choose to use? He says it doesn't matter. Is it true that it doesn't matter? All right, it doesn't matter. And you can choose either one of those 2 points, right? Since they're both on the line, you have a choice. So go ahead and see what you come up with. All right, let's finish this up here. Okay, we need to pick one of those points, and we need to figure out the slope, right? Well, I think the slope's the easiest thing to figure out. So let's go up here. What is the slope? Let's go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's 5 up, and how many over?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. So the slope I know now is 5 over 6. Everybody get that part? Yeah. That's the slope. Now you have to pick a point. You can either pick this point over here, -2, -3, or this point over here, 4, 2. It doesn't matter which one you pick. So we'll go with whatever one Marcos picked. Which one you picked, dude? You picked both. Oh, that's amazing, dude. Uh-huh.
I got y check 2 equals 5 over 6 times x check 4.
All right, so he chose this one over here, right? The 4, 2. So that would be y minus 2 equals 5 over 6 times x minus 4. Who got that for an answer? Put your hands up. That's about 13 or 14, 15 people got that one, okay? Or, similarly, you could have chosen this other point. You could have chosen -2, 3. Y minus y1 equals 5, 6 times x minus x1. So that would be y plus 3 equals 5 over 6 times x plus 2. Who got this for an answer? And that's about 8 or 9 people. That's the rest of the people. Oh, it was like only 5 people. So you could choose either one. And in fact, if you solve both of these for y equals mx plus b, this is called slope-intercept form. They end up being the exact same equation. They end up being the same.